Well, I'll tell you what else I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about this. Again, I don't know if this has to do with Grant Morrison kind of being pissed about it, but all the Batman books are going on height. Well, the two Batman books. Batman
wait. Did you hear about the new Robin book?
Yeah. No.
No, the Nightwing book, or there's a new book.
Well, there's two. Okay,
there are two new books coming out.
Right. One is Red Robin.
Yes.
And one is Robin and Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did you hear about one of the books? Who is going to be both drawing and writing it?
That's what I'm getting to. But it's not one of those books. In particular, it's the Battle for the Cowl.
Yes.
Which it takes place. I think the books are going to go on hiatus, and then this is going to be like a couple part issue miniseries. It's going to bridge the gaps. Yeah, this. The number one problem with Batman, all right, and I bitched and complained about this, is the fucking awful art on Batman. Tony Daniel does not belong in that book. All right, they need a. I'm sorry, he does not belong in that book. But Grant Morrison is writing it. It's the only reason I'm buying it. So what could be the worst possible thing that I can think of that they're going to do to Batman? They're going to take the one thing that I really, really like off of there, and they're going to double the shit quotient on the Battle for the Cowl, and they're going to put Tony Daniel as a writer and an artist. That's stuff that's made of my worst nightmares. Like, they're taking this guy who, I don't know how he got that job, but now he's going to be writing one of the, what I would think would be a very important element to the Batman story. What it's probably going to set up all the stuff that's going to happen for the next year. This guy co-wrote a shitty book that he did at Image called The 10th with Beau Smith. He then, I think when it went to Image, he wrote it book, but he wasn't drawing it. And then he did another miniseries of Adrenaline at Image too that he wrote. The guy's not a good writer. He's not a good artist. And you're taking the most popular character that you have next to Superman, and you're giving this guy who's not proven at all as a writer, and has proven nothing but to be awful at drawing, and you're giving him that book. I'm sorry, but that is horseshit. That is fucked up. I'm sorry. And again, from what I read, Dan DiDio handpicked him to do that. He handpicked them to write and draw it. Where is Grant Morrison on that book? Grant Morrison has been leading all this stuff up to the Batman. He's been doing Batman for years, and this is going to be the payoff. After Rust in Peace, he needs to lay the groundwork for what's going to happen in the next coming years. But they're not going to give it to Grant Morrison.
I hear Grant Morrison's not going to be working for DC much longer.
Well, I wonder why. I mean, it's awful. Seriously, 6 months from now, I could very well sitting here bitching about every fucking thing that DC does, as well as Marvel. Because DC is going down the road that Marvel went with me years ago. And everything is lining up for DC just to fuck everything up. They're fucking up Batman by doing this. And if James Robinson's not doing Superman, I'm sorry, but there's your two biggest characters right there. And it's time for new editor-in-chief, man. If this is how it's going to go, I'm sorry. Too much top talent is gone from there. J.G. Jones is going to be gone from DC. Jim Shooter's going to be gone from DC. If it's true, James Robinson's going to be gone. The guy just came back. He's got a JLA book that he has in the pipes that was supposed to come out this summer.
Yeah, and that's going to be taken over by someone else.
It obviously has to be.
Right.
Chuck Dixon.
Gone.
And it's kind of funny because Robin, Birds of Prey, and Nightwing all getting canceled. Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure they're going to relaunch after this. They felt, but the three things that all those books had was that Chuck Dixon created all three of those books in their current entities. Mm-hmm. Chuck Dixon is not with them anymore. I don't know, man. It sounds like someone has an agenda, and to me, that's pretty shitty. I don't know. And again, I can only go by what I know and what the rumors are about current stuff that's going on with the Batman books, about why they're doing what they're doing. And it seems like someone's got way too much pull and is doing things, I don't know why they're doing them. Mm-hmm. But nothing is good is going to come of it. I really don't think anything is good. And that's pretty selfish. To me, that's pretty selfish to have one guy, not just the Superman books, but it's affecting the Batman books. It's affecting the future continuity because of Final Crisis. It's affecting Grant Morrison's job there. I don't know, man, and that really pisses me off. It really pisses me off. It's one person who's mucking it up for the rest of us. I want to like comics. I really, really do. And if it's gonna come down to one person's choice to ruin all the stuff that I like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have a big problem with that person.
Wow, this does sound like a Joe Quesada thing.
It's interchangeable at this point.
Yeah. Wow, maybe that's Joe. Is this a plot on your part to divert attention away? Oh, that's funny. Wow.
And just to even it out, which I think is kind of funny, is that, after the whole Joe Quesada thing with Spider-Man, I was done with Spider-Man. But the Dan Slott stuff has been really good. This week, the Amazing Spider-Man that came out, Mark Waid is writing with Marcos Martin. I loved it. It was great. So I think everything's got to balance out. So now DC's going into shitter for me and
turning around.
But I don't know if Marvel can ever get back up to where it was with me. But
come on, you got Jason Aaron writing Ghost Rider. You've got Mark Waid on Spider-Man,
which is awesome that Mark Waid is on there.
What if Grant Morrison came back to Marvel?
That would be awesome.
Can you imagine Grant Morrison writing the Avengers?
Can you imagine James Robinson coming in and doing some books?
Invaders.
I mean,
that would rock.
Sorry, but if all those guys, if Chuck Dixon starts writing for Marvel, I might have to be,
Shades of WWE, WCW.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the landscape is changing, and a lot of the things that are changing are these creators, and if they're being ostracized from one company, it's going to be completely lopsided. You know what? So DC loses Grant Morrison, but they gain Tony Daniel. What? Like that? That's not even.
Well, that's the argument, too. You'll have some folks argue, is it the property or is it the talent? There's some folks that you can have any kid do Batman and it'll still sell. Look at all those X-Men books. I mean, look at how many X-Men books Marvel puts out. And they don't... It's not like they have the top flight talent working on the books. Or at least on all the spin-offs. I mean, yeah, now you got Brubaker, you've got Fraction...
Terry Dodson.
You got Mike Carey writing, but then you have all these other books that... I mean, I'm not going to sneeze at them, but they're taking the title, they're diluting it, they're putting all these names on the books, and I don't know if they're, that's really your A squad on what should be, your best titles. You should be putting your A teams on your A titles.
I agree.
Or are they thinking because if we slap an X on the cover, it's going to sell?
No, that's exactly what they're thinking. Right
so
now.
then DC's thinking the same thing. Batman's always been a good seller for them because it's Batman. You can have just about anybody writing it.
But you ruin the character enough like they're doing now, and it's all going to lead to, at some point, sales are going to tank and be awful, and they're going to have to relaunch it with A-list creators.
It cycles. It all goes in cycles. And it'll happen. It's happened before. It'll happen again.
I agree. But, I mean, whatever. It doesn't need to go in cycles.
Right. Well, yeah.
If they know what they're getting into, I'm sorry, but if Tony Daniel's the future of that Batman franchise, that franchise is fucking dead. Seriously.
Ouch. I have no opinion. We'll end this segment on that, and we hope to see you folks in the next one.